Hello, everyone, and welcome to At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
Executioner Daniel Travis.
I am Matthew Smith, aka the Unbreakable. This is episode number 217. I got a few announcements. If you missed the bonus I recorded a few days ago, that'll be after the episode.
Anyway, the topic.
Yeah, we are breaking the cycle because wrestling is not very newsworthy this week.
No.
So, we are talking about the trailer that dropped for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Let's
Yes.
swing into it.
Nice pun.
Looks like Tom Holland is back and he is going through changes.
Yes. And it looks like, from what we have seen in the trailer, it looks like to be a very depressed Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But, and then my honest thought is, because I know the fight scenes are going to be good because it's the same person that I believe directed, goddamn, what was that movie that came out a few years ago? The Legend of the Legend of the
Cool. I
Same
actually didn't know
director.
that.
Yeah. But overall, now I will say the one thing I am more curious on is who is the big bad of this movie, of this new series, new trilogy.
Good question. One I don't know the answer to.
Because we do know for a fact that Tombstone is in this movie.
Yeah, played by the same guy that played Tobias in Black Lightning.
Yeah, and all I can say to that is I'm not worried about him at all. Like what he looks like, don't really care. Because do I know that this dude is gonna be an absolute problem? Yes. If he had played a guy in Black Lightning that took 4 seasons, 2 realities to defeat, I think I'm not worried. But what is your thought on this trailer? Honestly.
I liked it. I didn't realize that MJ's boyfriend in the movie was the same guy as I forget what character you told me he played. But since MJ and Peter never technically broke up, does that mean she's cheating on him?
Good question. Okay, do you have any theories? Any film theories?
You know I'm not Lee. By the end of the movie, Spider-Man is going to be able to naturally shoot webs out of his forearm.
Okay. Do you think that this movie is going to lead in? Because keep in mind, this movie is A, having the Punisher be in there, which I have seen on Marvel's Instagram, that Daredevil's season 2 of his new show, Born Again, will take place right at there'll be Daredevil Born Again, season 2, then his special, which will lead right into Brand New Day.
Okay.
Which
No, we know that all this stuff is keeping Spider-Man a bit preoccupied by during Avengers Doomsday.
How that is, I have no idea.
And you're wondering, like, wait, but isn't Spider-Man also in Avengers Doomsday? Yes, but it's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah, but he's probably gonna be in Secret Wars the year after.
Maybe.
Probably.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? My theory is that my honest theory on this, my film theory is I think that either somehow Ned and MJ are somehow going to find a way to remember that who Peter is somehow, or I think that this movie is going to lead this movie is somehow going to introduce some new villains that Spider-Man that we have not seen Spider-Man face or or the MCU versions of these characters.
Interesting. I'm not sure if I want MJ to remember immediately. I would like to see Peter maybe have a Gwen Stacy and realize what the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man went through.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
can also have like the official introduction of MJ back into Peter's life like it was in the comics because MJ was introduced after the death of Gwen. And she introduced herself by saying, "Face it, Tiger, you hit the jackpot."
Yeah,
But
yeah,
also,
yeah,
Zendaya's MJ is not that confident in herself.
yeah. Now, what else do I think? Because this is a thing, is that like everyone now remembers that part of the scene because like it looks like the hand is gonna be in this movie.
That could honestly be doctor's footage for all we know.
Yeah, but
And I just remembered it was Ezra Bridger's actor who you told me is playing MJ's boyfriend.
yeah, but anyway, my theory is that you know that scene where Spider-Man is fighting a bunch of ninjas and he looks like he's about to fight all those ninjas by himself.
Yeah,
Think that either there's gonna be someone's gonna be in this movie. I'm gonna guess Daredevil's gonna make a surprise appearance again, but this time as Daredevil.
maybe. But we already
Maybe.
have Punisher, and there are rumors of like Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist rejoining. I'm gonna stop that timer because let's face it, kind of pointless. And the Defenders might be making their way into the MCU.
Or they've already be yeah, and I've also heard that I mean, let's see. Okay, I think that we're somehow going I think over the course of this movie, I think that this movie is probably gonna have to explain, what, because keep in mind, folks, this movie takes place 4 years after No Way Home.
Yeah,
This movie's in 2028.
yeah, which and so what year at MIT would that make Peter?
No idea.
Since he well, okay, he didn't really graduate from high school, but he was a senior and he at the we saw him get into his dorm at the end of No Way Home before suiting up and swinging in through the city. I'm gonna guess he's in his final year of MIT. So this might not be like the college trilogy. This might be the adult trilogy for all we know.
Well, no, because in the trailer, if you watch the trailer again, he's in college. Because when he's talking to Bruce Banner,
Yeah,
he's
I
wearing
know. You
a
said this takes place 4 years
yeah,
after No Way Home.
I did.
That means if he successfully went on to each year, he would be in his final year of college.
Yeah. Okay. My question is, and this is the more interesting question that is with this being a new trilogy, with this being, leading into new stuff into Tom Holland's Spider-Man, that is, are we going to have is there gonna be like a new big bad? Like, is there gonna be someone like a new villain that is it gonna be like the same villain over the course of these new movies? Or is it gonna be a different villain over the next three movies?
Well, for the record, his original three movies had different villains in each movie.
Right, true. So
But
probably.
we do know there is a remnant of the Venom symbiote in the
Yes. And we
and
also
so that Eddie Brock, who claimed to be a friend of Spider-Man when he was really a bully of his, and happens to be a future host of Venom.
yes. No, do I feel because keep in mind, also in this movie, we are getting regular Hulk in this
Yeah,
movie.
Hulk smash Hulk.
Yeah, we know which okay, I hope they're gonna explain on because that is something they're gonna have to explain. That is, how did Hulk go from Bruce Banner Hulk, from Professor Hulk, back to the Hulk? That's gonna
Yeah,
need
that's a good
explanation.
point. That is a very good point.
Because also, if he's been Professor Hulk for a lot of time in the MCU, think about how pissed off the actual Hulk is gonna be.
Yeah, and here's something that I think originally Punisher is gonna be enemy of Spider-Man. Then they're gonna do the superhero fight thing and realize that they need to work together instead.
But also, it kind of seems like from the trailer that they've been doing this dance for a few years.
Yeah. We also know that Sydney Sweetie or whatever her name is in the movie, we still have no clue what role she's playing.
Yeah, but because because it's possible that this movie could be like a backdoor pilot to. It's possible that this movie could be used as a backdoor pilot for the X-Men.
Yeah, it could be Jean Grey. I've heard Mayday Parker from Tobey Maguire's universe.
Yeah, because here's the thing: is that and also this is just an honest question: is if Doomsday is taking place at the same time as Spider-Man Brand New Day, how is that movie, is what goes on in Brand New Day, is that going to affect what goes on in Avengers Doomsday?
I
I don't.
would have to say no. Because the best way I can describe it is Legends of Tomorrow in the Arrowverse. They would mess up the timeline and no repercussions. Nothing. I feel like it's gonna be the same with Avengers Doomsday and New Day.
Hmm.
Now, am I saying that's concrete? It's not going to affect it? No, I'm not saying that. We might hear about it in like the background and stuff like that, or when they tease Secret Wars, which will be next year. In an obvious post-credit scene, Peter can just pop up and be like, "Hey, so what I miss?"
Yeah. Be like, hey, so you remember? It'd be like, so we're dealing with someone called Doctor Doom. Okay, what's the problem? He looks like Tony Stark.
And
What?
he's from a different. And he's from a.
Yeah.
My guess is Victor Von Doom is from the Fantastic Four's Earth
Yes.
because he's most commonly associated with them.
Yes. Now, I think. All right. Now, talking about Spider-Man: Brand New Day here is I and I've heard that this is. I've heard some whispers that this is going to be one of the darkest Spider-Man. I don't know if that's true. Movies.
I mean, it's pretty hard to top the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I agree. Do I think because I'm also wondering is this gonna force Peter Parker in this new Spider-Man movie to to try to actually what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, actually try to hide who he is a lot better considering what happened the last time his identity got exposed, is he going to be a lot better at hiding who he is from the world now?
Yes.
And also, this is just an actual question that I got is why is Spider-Man the only character in the MCU? Why is Spider-Man and Daredevil like the only characters in the MCU that actually have a secret identity? Everybody else does not. It's an honest question.
You are asking the wrong comic book fanboy.
Okay,
Partially because I'm more DC than Marvel, but you know.
yes. Now, what do you got any thoughts?
Nope.
Okay, I think Tombstone in this movie I think Tombstone is gonna have a very large role in this movie because I don't feel I feel like Tombstone is gonna be one of those guys where it's just like he might be one of those villains that is just I feel like he's gonna have a really big and from my knowledge on Tombstone, he's a very smart, calculated individual. Like, this man has no problem. Like, this man has gone toe to toe with Spider Man on multiple occasions.
Mm-hmm.
This man could take a point blank gunshot and be like, "Is that the best you got?"
Fair enough.
So I think Tombstone is gonna have a very large role in this movie.
I mean, they could be leading up to like the Sinister Six or something.
Yeah, that is true. They could do the Sinister Six and have I mean I've heard things about like a Mr. Negative. I don't know if he's in this movie, but
I've heard stuff about Scorpion.
I mean Scorpion's in this movie. That
Yeah,
we already knew. But it's okay. I hope they're gonna, because for those of you that don't know, he was the one that got kicked. And I saw a clip, I saw like a post of this on Instagram. He was on the dock all the way back. He was on that boat, that ferry, all the way back in the first Tom Holland movie.
Homecoming.
Yes. So this goes back all the way to the first movie.
And you're talking about Scorpion, right?
Yet.
Then how is he in prison in the post credit scene?
Because I think he was on that boat that Tom was trying to stop a little heist on. It might
He
have
was part
guys.
of the crew. Okay.
Yes. I think that's why he's coming back, because
Do you think that means we could see the return of Michael Keaton's Vulture?
it's possible. Yeah. It's I mean like that would be that would be a great way to form the Sinister Six. Plus a random story that actually this is a random you know what, I'll tell you later. But anyway, I think I'm thinking that I'm thinking somehow Marvel is somehow gonna find a to how do I put this? Yes, we've seen, you know, like the original versions of the Green Goblin and the original versions of all these characters, but what if the MCU does their own little spin on those iconic villains?
Are you saying we're gonna get MCU villains of Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Venom,
Yeah,
maybe Hobgoblin eventually?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, though I will say no one is gonna do better at Green Goblin than Willem Dafoe.
True, but it depends on who they cast. I'm not gonna jump, because for all we know, they could get someone. They could get Matthew
Yeah,
McConaughey.
yeah,
For
yeah.
all we know.
I just did something that I hate. I was prejudging when we don't even know that's gonna happen. I apologize.
Yeah, but that's just like a thought that I've had, that it's like, hey, you've had these original villains. What if some of the aftermath? What if there's some of the aftermath? This is just a crazy theory. Is that what if there's some battle tech left over from that No Way Home battle that leads in to Marvel's creating their own little spin on those villains?
Yeah.
Just a thought.
And didn't Marvel want to like buy back the rights to the Spider-Man movies?
Yes. I mean, to be honest, they should.
Yeah, they literally have Disney backing them. And you know how hard it is to beat the House of Mouse.
Yeah. I think that okay, what other some other thoughts is, I feel like we're gonna see I feel like we're gonna see Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I don't know. Well, what do you got? You got any more thoughts?
Nah, we've gone for almost like 26 and a half minutes. Do you just want to call it here? Let me get through the announcements and then wrap it up.
Sure.
All right, so we recently switched distributors from Spotify for Creators to Riverside. That's fine and dandy. We will no longer be able to post video episodes, but we are also on more platforms now. We are still on
Yes.
Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
We are on iHeartRadio.
Yes.
And 71 of our episodes are currently up on YouTube. It's gonna be done by like the third week of April or something.
It might be a while.
Yeah, because apparently YouTube has an upload limit of like 10 episodes, and we had when it started 225 to upload.
It might be a couple months.
Yeah, but yeah, that we are glad to be on new platforms because it means new people will listen to this podcast.
Hopefully.
It is and we have a website. It will have links to every platform we are on, and
Yes.
you can subscribe to it to make sure you know when new episodes drop. Now, the time might be itsy bitsy a little bit different from the other from when we were on Spotify for Creators. It'll post on Riverside first, and then on other platforms an hour later. Once YouTube is finally caught up, that is.
True.
Anyways, thank you for listening. I have to remember to say that because we can't do video anymore. We'll be back next week with more debates and discussions, and hopefully wrestling will start getting newsworthy again. But
Maybe.
until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will still be at odds.